Well, we're hearing also very worrying reports that the boat contained as many as 600 or 700 people that, of course, packed onto the boat. No migrant refugee boat can carry that many people safely. Panicked when they saw a rescue boat, swayed over to one side, and almost instantly the boat capsized, sank. People falling into the water. There are 16, as we know now, confirmed dead. We're really concerned that there could be many more. A very gallant rescue operation taking place now. One of the boats from the Irish Navy, the Italian Coast Guard, is coordinating. We hope to hear news of more rescue and less death later today.
What can you tell us about what happened?
I don't have all the details, but this is something that is typical because migrants and refugees are packed onto the profit-hungry smuggler boats. There's not a single space for people. They're below deck, they're in the middle of the deck, they're above deck, shoulder to shoulder, feet to feet. They're told not to move. And as apparently this boat sent out a signal, made some phone calls. They were only 15 miles away from Libya, so probably at the very beginning of their journey. And when they spotted a rescue boat, panicked, moved to the side, and the boat capsized very tragically.
600, 700 people on this boat. I mean, what is this boat? What does it look like? How seaworthy might it be?
Well, we can only make assumptions at this point, but I can tell you that not a single one of those boats that are crossing the Mediterranean are particularly seaworthy. If they are, they're certainly not suited for the numbers of people that are packed on the boats. Very frequently, the people don't have any life vests, and we're seeing more and more that families with children are on the boat, many people unable to swim. So obviously we're very concerned about the fate of the people who fell into the water, whether they were able to be rescued in time.
Thankfully, some boats, including the Médecins Sans Frontières boat, was more or less on the scene at the time, and reports suggest that that's perhaps why the boat flipped, because all of those on board, the refugees on board, moved to one side and the boat flipped over. Other boats steaming in this direction, but, you know, even at this time of year, 3 hours in the water is pretty treacherous, especially for women, young children.
Absolutely, and again, if people can't swim, this is we see this very often among refugees and migrants crossing, that many of them can't swim, and then if you have young children, obviously that's a problem. And again, they very often have no life vest. If they have a life vest on, they can survive quite a long time in the water. If they find some debris or a life ring that they can grasp onto, perhaps they could survive even a day or 2 or 3 in the water. But very often that isn't the case. The way they're being transported is simply life-threatening. It's not safe. If they fall into the water, it is very often a death sentence.
I'm just looking on your UNHCR website, Melissa, top 5 arriving in Europe by sea, 34% Syrian, 12% from Afghanistan, 12% from Eritrea, 5% from Somalia and Nigeria. They are risking their lives to make this journey. It's been described as the most dangerous journey in the world. 2,000 already dead this year making that journey. That's correct.
200,000 have arrived, and of those, 2,000 have died. You know, particularly those who are arriving in Libya, they're finding themselves in very precarious situation in a violent Libya. And they're finding that they have really no other choice but to take the boats. They're very well aware of the dangers, and nevertheless, they're risking their lives. They've fled for their lives once, and now they're doing it one more time for the chance to reach safety and start their lives anew in Europe.